Hello and welcome to today's episode of Max Black, where we're talking personal and career transformations. With me are three incredible experts on this topic, including Dr. Janet Palmer, Crystal Brooks, and Lynn McCray. Welcome, ladies.
Welcome, and thank you for having us, Dr. Avis.
Absolutely. My pleasure to have you here. I'm going to first start with Dr. Janet. If you could introduce yourself and tell people a little bit about what you do.
Sure, I'm Dr. Janet Palmer, CEO of Dr. Janet Palmer International. And what I do is I help women 50 and over try to navigate and clarify their created purpose. It's so customary that when we become over 50, we sort of lose our sense of purpose and really become clueless and feel that our decisions are really kind of dead end. And so we're not empowered in our workplace and in our life place as women 50 plus.
Love that. Workplace and life place. Crystal.
Hi. Hello. So I am Crystal Brooks. I am the founder of Love You More Legacy. I am best-selling author, and I am a forgiveness coach and a mindset coach. So I help women who have dealt with trauma to learn the true art of forgiveness.
Oh, wow. And I know that is a challenge.
It is a challenge.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Lynn, can you tell us what you do?
I do. I can. My name is Lynn McCray, and I am the CEO of Bridge the Gap Real Estate Training. And what we do is we help women reinvent themselves in the real estate industry. We help them build their business from the inside out.
I absolutely love that. So I'm going to start with you, Lynn, because you know, when I think about real estate as a wealth building tool, most of it think of it with regards to home ownership, but also it provides a great career opportunity for individuals in order to get into that industry. However, you shared with me a quite startling statistic about Black women as real estate agents. Can you talk a little bit about that and what are some of the challenges that Black women face in the field?
Yes, I can. Well, first of all, blacks are disproportionately represented as homeowners, but you're right, they are also misrepresented as realtors.
Yeah.
And so what we're running into is in the first year, 77% of Black women fail in their real estate businesses.
Wow.
And a lot of that is due to confidence. It's due to them not being able to manage their time with the new businesses. And what I want to do is I want to help them build that gap, or bridge that gap by helping them build themselves from the inside out so that they can go out, they can be salespeople, they can also sell themselves as well.
Absolutely. I mean, if you don't have confidence, how are you going to get the sales?
Exactly.
It just does not go together.
Exactly.
Absolutely. And Crystal, you focus on this issue of forgiveness. You've written an incredible book. So first of all, congratulations on the best-selling book.
Thank you.
Could you talk a little bit about your book and why it is so important for us to understand how to forgive?
Yeah, so my book is When Silence is Misunderstood, Finding a Lifestyle of Abundance After Abuse. And so my book, I'm sharing my journey of overcoming physical abuse, sexual abuse, mental abuse. And so that journey of forgiving from the age of 5 up until, in my 30s.
Wow.
And that takes a lot of work to do. And so with me helping the women and actually tapping into navigating forgiveness. What does that look like? How do you take your power back from the person that took your power away? And then walking, let's say if you see them in the street, is your pressure going up when you see them, or are you looking at them saying, you know what, I'm okay? So that's how you know if you truly forgave. And that is a hard task. And so in my book, I definitely deal with that, and I help women to navigate it.
Let me just pause here for a minute because I have to say, how do you forgive something like that? I mean, to me, there are some things in life, in my mind, that are unforgivable.
Absolutely.
And that's one of them, okay? So how do you forgive something that is so horrible, so traumatic, and are able to move past that in your life?
So you have to forgive because it's for you, not for them. And that is you taking your power back from the person that took that away from you. If you continue to hold on to that they did to you, then they're living rent-free in your head. They're living in your heart and your body. And so guess what? They have gone on with their life, and you're still thinking about them. I never tell you to forget. There's no way you can forget it, but you can forgive for yourself so you can take your power back. I'm big on taking power back. Nobody deserved, they did not deserve to do that to you, essentially. Right. And so you have to work on you and forget about them, honestly. But that power, the biggest thing is power.
I love that idea of taking your power back.
Yes.
Absolutely essential. And I think that's a little bit about what you do, Dr. Janet, with regards to after 50, right? Losing your purpose, but it's also regaining your power, wouldn't you say?
Definitely. I mean, it just sort of dovetails so well with what you were saying, and thank you for that. I also, at 50 years old, very high-powered, very successful, left my career for marriage. And I relocated to a totally different state with no connections. And that kind of sort of ignited my desire to really tap into my creative purpose and see what it means now at 50. And how do I still have 50 more years of amazing material to give to the world.
Yeah.
And so this book entitled Human GPS, God's Perfect Script,
Yes.
the fulfillment of my why, got created as I began to utilize the script that I was created to at 50 and 50 plus. And it's a quick read, and it has 6 chapters, but I empower people to reclaim that sense of purpose in both work and home, because our bodies change, our values change, our homes change, because many of our kids are no longer there.
Yeah.
And we're redefining ourselves.
Oh my goodness, as a pretty new empty nester, I absolutely get exactly what you just said. And I love the title of your book, Human GPS, right? And because we do need direction at every stage in life. So coming back, starting once again with you, Dr. Janet, if we were to say, okay, we realize we're at a certain stage in life and we do need to sort of find a new direction. You had a very different direction. You got married, you moved, you had to start, in essence, start all over. Say someone out there is dealing with something new where they've almost had to kind of hit the reset button in their lives. What's the most important thing they need to do to be able to handle that transition smoothly?
Looking at the things that you're impassioned about, the colors that you enjoy, the things that you do in your downtime. See where you're connecting with yourself again, and really list those and look at it and say, okay, fine, I'm impassioned with the exchange. I am empowered by being able to make a difference in life. And, you know, looking at the ability to forgive. And how freeing that is. And not just thinking that, oh, that's just one facet of my life, but knowing that we're whole and complete. And there's an integration of all of our beings within us.
I love that. And Crystal, if someone right out there right now is having a hard time forgiving, we don't know what it was, but whatever it is, they're holding on, okay? What's the most important thing that you can tell them to do to have the strength to let go?
The most important thing I would say is think about your happiness. Think about what that person has taken from you and how do you gain that back, right? And so again, taking your power back and then learning how to do that. And so it's a process. Again, it's not easy, but the biggest thing is think of your happiness, and your happiness should never be tied to someone else. And again, you're still giving them your power if you continue to be in that space. And so happiness.
Happiness is the key. And when we're thinking about finally around real estate and the careers that women can create in that space, but they are allowing perhaps negative self-talk to keep them from living their potential, what would you think is the most important thing that aspiring realtors could learn from you and what you do around being able to build confidence into everything that they do from day one?
First of all, just take that joy back. Don't let anybody steal your joy. And be real in your real estate business. So you have to be your authentic self. And so what we do is we take steps to get you there so that you can be that real person and be, you know, take your full impacts like these ladies have talked about as well. So
Absolutely. There's nothing more important than that.
it's true.
Be the real, authentic you. With that said, thank you for joining us today on Max Black.